action. And to speak on the same, we have Mr. Raje, GM and Head of Business India, SAARC Zoom. Raje is a General Manager and Head for India and SAARC region for Zoom. He joined Zoom in April 2019 to kickstart and expand its operations in the region. Today, with a large customer base comprising organizations of all sizes across industries, supported by a dynamic partner ecosystem and growing workforce, the India and SAARC region is one of the key contributors and biggest markets for Zoom. So let's put our hands together and welcome Mr. Raje, the General Manager and Head of Business India and SAARC Zoom.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. That was a very long introduction. And I'm not going to make my speech very long. I'm very bad at slides. So I'm not going to walk you through slides. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about real-time experiences that each one of us go through. And then I'm going to speak about how do we see this from Zoom point of view and our organization. I'm sure all of you know Zoom. You know Zoom? Yes. All right, so all of you have been zooming around. Okay, thank you. So, as I said, this is me. Yes. Why am I saying that? That's me because, you know, the confused chap out there, when I used to sometime back, get out of my desk every morning. Here I am, give you a real life example. I walk to my desk, start the day, call up one of my lead managers and say, hey, I know what's happening, and say, why are you calling me? What happened? Sir, aaj chutti hai. How did I don't know? Sir, please. Okay, alright. So I first started to find out where do I get the information that today is a holiday for me. So I start looking for the app which has the story or Zoom repository. Say, let me go to Workday, let me go to my intranet, let me go to WorkVivo. By the way, WorkVivo is our intranet which is our flagship product. Go there, finally find it, locate it, and find it out. It's a holiday. Meantime, the wife comes in, oh, you are at your desk. I thought you were on holiday. I have planned a day tomorrow as well, so why don't you take the day off? Now, there starts the other thing. Now, where do I apply for my leave? And that's this chap out here, confused. And that's what is happening with our employees, right? Any of you go through this? If you have to raise a ID help desk ticket, you have to go to ServiceNow. Then if you have to raise a PX ticket, you have to go somewhere else. There's a technical fatigue everywhere, right? This friction. You don't know which application to go through. Everybody talks about SSO, but the damn SSO doesn't work, right? I'll give you a real-time example. Yesterday, one of the best, AEs is based in Delhi, lined up a meeting for Bangalore, and he was so particular and so good that he decided to pick up a Google Map link and put it in the calendar invites itself. I said, fantastic, what a guy, what a dude here. And when I open the calendar to book a cab and click on the link, it says link not found. That's the story of our life. That's the real friction. And I had to again send him a message. Please, for God's sake, put the full address over here and update the calendar so I can reach out so technically, fixated. So that's what we are going through. It's more complexity for us every single day. It's bringing friction at every point of our life. Alright, now this is an employee, this is a person, human being working within an organization. And this is a no-brainer. But this is again a study done by Deloitte. Okay, what it talks about is, none of you? Come on. Okay, let's be honest. How many of you love to attend meetings with your bosses? Alright. And if you have a grumpy boss like me, you will never want to attend, right? My people don't want to attend meeting because first they have to come prepared. They need to have a briefing document. Then during the meeting they need to be prepared. And after the meeting they have to send out the minutes of meetings. Painful, super painful. The easiest thing is, sir, customer nahi hai, I am not there, I am on leave. So the meeting is gone on. Right? So all of us go through, we end up doing work about work. That's the whole problem. Right? And that's what this study is talking about. No brainer. But the problem is we don't realize it. How many of us really realize that we are doing work about work? We don't factor that in. The fatigue that is setting in, the friction, the grind that we feel is because we are doing work about work. saw the customer. Poor dear customer. That's again me. Right? How many of you love talking to your customer support agents? Or let's forget about that. How many of you love talking to your personal bankers? By the way, who hardly are there? You love talking to your personal banker? Well, you should get an award, sir. Because even if I don't talk to my personal banker, I still get a text message saying, thank you for talking to your personal banker. Please share the feedback. You get that?
Yes.
Alright, awesome. Right? And you know what? You have to wait half an hour, 45 minutes on a call for the call to go through. Right? You telling them what the problem is. Once you tell them what the problem is, sorry sir, let me put my manager, I'm not empowered, let me get my manager. Yes, I'm the manager, what is your problem? So again you repeat, and God forbid if the line breaks down, here I'm another wait for 45 minutes, right? So that's the problem. And then comes in our great guy, the CFO. Reduce the cost. I don't have money, better ROI, right? So what do? We turn to technology. What do? We bring in AI. For what? For amazing results. Do we get amazing results? Sometimes, maybe yes. But just imagine, I was before sharing a fact that there is a technical fatigue, there is friction. All of us are struggling with apps. If you are like me, you struggle with your Android also and iPhone also. Right? Okay. Many of you, most of you are from customer experience or support related activities. How many of you consider yourself to be ace or experts to give a command to ChatGPT or cloud or whatever AI engine you are using and get the best result? Not yet. Are we all in agreement or there are some experts here? Maybe some might be better than others. But can we all agree that we are struggling ourselves to give the right command prompt to an AI agent sitting on your phone or on your device to get the best output? Are you all in agreement? Yes. But then we are so smart that we are building a chatbot with our own AI engine and throwing it at the customer and telling the customer that there, you should know how to give a command to my chatbot that I have designed to run my systems and to get a right answer for you. Think about it. Is that what is happening? Is that what we are doing? We don't know ourselves how to give a command prompt, but we are expecting our customers to know that language, to interact or know how to interact with a chatbot that you have built, you have procured from somewhere, that is running on your systems. You are expecting your chatbot to give out billing, customer support or whatever related solutions to your customer. And that, we did one more study by Morning Consult, and this is what it says. Customers are rejecting it. Whether they get some output, don't get output, that's not the point. The point is, at the end of every conversations, they want only one thing, and that is human touch. Do you agree to this? You may have a problem. You call up the customer support, problem is not solved, but if the customer support tells you that, sir, ma'am, I will ensure that we get your problem fixed in so and so, by so and so time frame. Wouldn't you be satisfied with that? That's what it is about. It is about the human touch. Customers are looking for human touch. And that's what, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing at Zoom. Why was Zoom so synonymous for video meetings? Simply because when you click on a link, you click on a tab, you could fire a video meeting and you will absolutely be sure that it will work. And that's what we are bringing in. We are removing the friction. There are two types of conversations. When you are interacting for anything, whether it is a customer support, customer related activity, sales related activity, or anything or internal activity, there are just two activities. Two conversations. Human to human and a human to system. Nothing beyond that. Right? So, when you are meeting somebody, what you are doing is you are preparing yourself for a meeting, that is pre-meeting. Then you are in the meeting, so you are doing the work, you are having a conversation, and then post-meeting, that is the third one, where you are actually taking things to the system or taking it to completion. And that's what, ladies and gentlemen, Zoom does, taking your conversations to completion end to end. conversations to completion. Most of you are from CX side, so again, this is a very interesting study. Forget about the data points. All of you say that data is important. There is no brainer to it. But if I ask you a real question, how many of you have independent teams to run your data analytics? How many of you rely on your IT teams to run the reports for you or pull the data for you? Most of you? Isn't that a challenge? It is a big challenge. You have data and data and data. I mean, that's the whole point over here. That most of the CX leaders are saying that data points are important, but 87% of them are relying on external teams to make sense of that data. And balance 45%, they cannot connect data to the facts or to the trending. Now, that's the underlying problem. That's what Zoom does. As I said, from conversation to completion, we complete the flow from customer conversation before to end. You have seen Zoom as a meeting application. Now I'm going to talk about a whole lot of other things and take you on a very different dimension. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you the CX platform of Zoom. We introduced this platform, I think, 2 or 3 years back. 3 years back, and we are today one of the leaders in Gartner's Magic Quadrant. And we developed this platform ground up. It's not acquired company or anything. Video first contact center. And it's just not contact center, but there are whole other elements into it. AI is built into it, AI expert assist. It has virtual agent, workforce management, quality management. And everything is self-service. Everything self-service. You can deploy a Zoom contact center in not weeks, not months, in days. You can deploy, you can develop a chatbot by yourself. It's a low-code, no-code model. Why was Zoom so synonymous? Because ease of use. Everybody vouches for the ease of use of Zoom and the quality of video, and that's exactly what we brought in here as well. It's an omni-channel contact center bringing in elements from social media, text, it could be any other form, telephony or emails, video meetings, anything. All bringing in together. Today you have multiple service agent lines, multiple help desks. A customer venting out or coming and talking to a service agent goes and vents out on social media and both have no connection. You have different teams managing different things. You have one customer line and second customer line. For the same customer, you are managing maybe IT help desk, somebody else is for the other customer, you are managing, let's say, outbound sales. If you are in B2B industry. You cannot give an access to the customer to view into the dashboards. Big problem. Because you don't have that. You have depend on the IT team for pulling out the data. Here, everything is real time. Workforce management and quality management. Here, actually, I don't know how many of you do full-time analysis of all your calls, inbound, outbound, whatever it might be. How many of you do? How many of you analyze all your calls? Are you able to do that? What if you could analyze your calls 100%?
Called sentiment analysis. So that's a sentiment analysis to tell you what kind of a sentiment your customer has with any of the calls that we have implemented in IoT.
Fantastic. So the sentiment analysis comes built into Zoom contact center as well and telephony as well. So this is another part where you can actually go through all the calls. The AI does the grading for you, not you. It does the monitoring of every call, recording, everything, and based on the parameters that you define. And that gives an advice of what could be the next step or how you can train your agent for next step or to improvise the calls. Dashboards readily available in terms of data or calls. Let's say a call came to the chatbot. While chatting, there is a sentiment analysis going on, sentiment turning negative, positive, suddenly the customer says, hey, I'm not happy, and the chatbot in a natural language. As I said, no particular prompt required a natural language processing. This is all natural language processing. You chat with the chatbot in its natural language, saying you wouldn't even realize whether you're chatting with a chatbot or it's with an agent. Suddenly the chatbot will ask you, do you want the call to be equated to a human being? And then, when the agent comes on the call, you have the option of being on the video. Not only that, but the agent has the full history of what the customer has been chatting with the chatbot. Real time. Not only that, but using your repository, the agent, the AI companion can give prompts to the agent in terms of the possible answers. And the agent can monitor the sentiment analysis real time.
Does it align with ERP also? Does it go and check, for example, customers working on being? Does it align with your ERP and give the result?
Yes. So it will go to any database or any knowledge base that you want it to go to. Not only that, but it will also interact with the AI agents of any application that you want it to. So for example, if there's ServiceNow, it can actually go to ServiceNow, create a ticket, service desk ticket, and bring it back without even going into ServiceNow. And that's how I'm solving my problems. I no longer have to go find or approve leaves, go into Workday or anything. I just do it within the Zoom app itself. When I have to schedule a meeting today with my team, I don't go looking into the calendar. I just tell my AI agent that please schedule a meeting with these 5 people. It goes and finds a slot in the calendar. It asks me what for the agenda, duration. I just tell it goes ahead and send out an invite to all the participants on my behalf. I don't have to do anything. That's Zoom AI agent. We recently introduced CX Insight, and this is an amazing tool which sits on top of the Zoom contact center. This again is a full natural language processing AI engine. What it does, it takes data insights and forms a repository. To summarize, let's say for example, it can take data insights from chat, from interactions, from your knowledge base, from everything, and keep it handy. You, on the other hand, 3 months, 6 months down the line, whenever you want, you can fire a query to this AI agent, CX Insights, and ask for the trending or any sort of query in your natural language. Gone are the days of dashboards. Even dashboards are past now. You can just fire a query, and I'll show you some use case on that, and it will make things available across people. So right now, the problem is your production, your engineering, or your backend teams do not have access to the information or the data points that you have, unless you point it out to them. So what's going to happen is, CX Insights runs across all this, and this is the real life use case. It will take signals from interactions like voice, chat, digital, etc. and keep it in the memory or context store. When you fire a query on using a natural language, it will throw out the information. Let's say for example, let's talk about a manufacturing unit which is manufacturing some devices, and on a particular day the call volume spiked. Okay, when the call volume spiked, the trending is because of the faulty battery component of that device. Okay? Now, you've forgotten it. 6 months down the line, you realize that there was a spike. So you fire a query, why was there a spike? Or your quality management team or your production team which is sitting there can realize, why was there a spike? Why was there so many complaints? What are the complaints type? Oh, it was about the battery. Which batch? It will actually give you the batch number and details of the product manufactured, so you can go and make your customer support proactive rather than being reactive. So this information is available across to quality management, to your production, to your engineering, everybody, and that's what, ladies and gentlemen, even Zoom does. Our focus is more on improving our product rather than solving customers' problems. Because if our product is better, services are better, if the platform is stronger, the complaints will be less. What we do in India is a chalta hai attitude, and that attitude is killing customer service. We simply believe that it's okay. We will throw more bodies to solve the problem, to handle the calls. That's okay. But it needs to be looked at as the problem needs to be solved at the grassroots level, which is at the product and engineering, and not at the customer support level. And that's how it needs to be looked at. And that is the reason why it is important that you go from a reactive customer support to a proactive customer support. And that's what CX Insights is all about. I spoke about this use case, taking signals, asking strategic questions in natural language, and getting the output. So basically, you're moving from insight to action. Right now, you're just sitting on data points, looking at insights, insights, and insights. Stronger ROI, faster insights. I don't want to talk about it, but you can actually go back to your CFO and say that I saved some money, rather than deploying, more agents or spending something. Now, before you ask me about security, let me put it out there. It is, we do not use your data for customer training. It is proprietary. We have our own LLMs and SLMs, and not only that, we use federated model, and that's the reason why Zoom AI results are much better compared to any other model right now. Because federated model means when you fire a query, it will use Zoom LLMs and SLMs. It also uses OpenAI, it also uses Anthropic, and gives you the best result out of the three. If you have a complete option and a control of choosing the LLMs that you want. If you decide you don't want to use OpenAI or Anthropic, it's up to you absolutely. You can also bring in your LLMs model up to some extent. I spoke about the most and the best part of Zoom Contact Center is about the ease of deployment. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the Zoom platform. You know just the meeting part, which is this. But this is a complete platform, and let me spend some time over here. It's divided into two pillars. This is the workplace, Zoom Workplace. And when you subscribe to an enterprise license, this is what you get, most of it, not all of it. Your Zoom client comes with chat, it comes with scheduler. We've also introduced our mailing and calendaring solution. You can also use your Microsoft, Google, yes, you can use that and bring those calendars into Zoom, mail and calendar, or if you're fed up with their E1, E2, E10, E15 kind of models, O365 models, you can use Zcal and Zmail, which is our proprietary mailing and calendaring. Our flagship product, which is Zoom Phone, which is a hosted telephony system. It's a hosted PBX system on the cloud. It's the fastest growing service across the world. And India, we introduced it last year after the license from the Department of Telecommunication. Basically, it's your corporate telephony residing on your mobile device. So ladies and gentlemen, let that sink in. When you subscribe to Zoom Phone, you do need SIM card, you need data basically, but you get Zoom provided number set. So Zoom is equivalent to almost a telco in the country. We provide our own number sets. Zoom corporate telephony. It's a hosted PBX on the cloud. You can do extension to extension calling, IP to PSTN calling, and so on and so forth. Yes, I'm repeating, IP to PSTN and PSTN to IP calling you can do. Very much. This side, we've introduced things like Google Zoom Sheets, Slides, Canvas. These are co-creation documents and sheets that you can use. We have digital whiteboard. If you are using digital whiteboard or paying separately for subscription, please do not. It comes bundled along with Zoom Enterprise licenses. And then, of course, we have digital signage, visitor management, and so on and so forth. On the other side, you heard about the business services. You heard about webinars. One of the flagship products where you can invite up to 1 million participants in one single meeting. 1 million. But recently, we've introduced the contact center. And when this and this piece meets together, you have a complete one platform. And I'll give you an example. Zoom Phone integrates straight into the CRM of your choice. So when your sales teams or customer support teams are making or receiving calls, you don't have to take notes or anything. It can straight away get transcribed into CRM of your choice. We have open APIs and SDKs available. You can integrate the entire platform and its component into your applications. Same is with contact center. And AI comes bundled into it. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the whole Zoom platform, and it goes on, and we continue to expand our services. I spoke about contact center as a video first telephony. How many of you would like to see it in action? I would like to. All right, great. What is the sport of religion in our country? Awesome. What is it for USA? NFL. Yes. Let's hear from them. These are some of our customers. Let's hear it from them.
Singer of MLB Network. We've got some exciting news for you. I'm joined by Noah Gard and Chris Marinac of MLB. They're at the MLB headquarters right now. They're here today to announce the new partnership between Major League Baseball and Zoom to overhaul the replay review process starting on opening day, which is right around the corner. Now, guys, tell us how this partnership, it makes so much sense now, and how it's going to advance the game as we know it. Noah, we'll start with you.
Listen, from my perspective, it's great to be able to have a new partnership and do a deal with a company that's had such a profound impact on our lives. Being able to take that now and bring it to our fans and show our fans behind the scenes things that have been going on in the game for quite some time that they've always talked about but never actually seen, I think is going to provide, even a greater understanding of, all the hard work our umpires are doing, but everything that happens behind the scenes to make this game as great as it is.
Oh, you make a good point about collaboration. What we really learned in the last couple of years is that Zoom is a collaboration platform. It's not just about hosting a meeting. It's about bringing people together and giving you an opportunity to see who's on the other side of that line. And for us in replay, we take a process that's been audio-based for almost a decade now, where an umpire is on the other end of the line trying to make a decision on the field about whether a runner's safe or out or whether a ball's fair or foul. And we're adding a whole new element of that with Zoom to give video in-person collaboration, to be able to see who's on the other side of that line back in New York. If I'm the umpire on the field, who am I talking to? What are they doing? What are they looking at? Who's with them? How are they making this decision? So that when I bring that call back to life on the field, I have confidence that the best decision was made. And I think you're going to see some really interesting ways to present that to our fans over the course of this upcoming season that are innovative and unique due to this great relationship we have with Zoom.
And Noah, outside of regular season games, how will this new partnership affect the rest of Major League Baseball?
We're working with Zoom on our Jewel events, the All-Star Game playoffs, World Series, and even maybe most importantly, the MLB draft. And their security lines of communication is going to be what drives the draft and the communication between our clubs, our officials on site, and ultimately the commissioner who will be telling you who is drafted number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to be relying on them for really important parts of our business. And our fans are going to get, as a result, a better look into our game.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on this new partnership for Major League Baseball.
That is all replays being played via Zoom Contact Center. And before you get there, this is recorded in 2022. But if you go to the MLB site and games happening today, this week, you will still see replay powered by Zoom everywhere. And you want to see this real life in action, please walk into any Lenskart store to get your eyes tested by an ophthalmologist, and you'll be glad that the ophthalmologist will not be there in the store. You will get connected via video, via the equipment, straight back to the HQ. Well, they'll test your eyes and give you a prescription number via the Zoom Contact Center. Video first omni-channel contact center. And that's it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samir. I now request Mr. Pranav Kumar, Global Head Digital Data and AI, Senior Director, Client Partner, Chief Architect, Captain Knight, to the felicitation for Mr. Samir Raje, General Manager and Head of Business India, SAARC. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Samir Raje.